What's up, guys? We're gonna roll beats. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make an ESTG type beat. If you guys haven't subbed already or turned post on as you do so, because it does help it a lot. Let's hop right into it. So we got a lot of sounds here. I'll go through sound selection and everything. BPM 160 to 170. I just did 165 because it's in the middle. For scale, anything that is around a C. So you could do like, I don't know, you could do a D sharp minor or something like that, right? So we got this, and let's go ahead and start making our melody. All right, so let's start the melody, and this is the piano that I'm using. Okay, so what I want to do is kind of make a universal tutorial for this because there are many styles. So I want you to be able to kind of make any style you want just off of this video. So basically the notes you need to pay attention to, right, are these like half steps here. And this is pretty much universal with any like dark style, rap beat or anything, right? And then the root note. Now you can go outside of these notes. But the problem is the more you go outside, it'll start to sound very melodic, as you can see. Right? So we can get started with ours. Start on the root. And then we can just kind of repeat this pattern. We'll make this real fast. Right? So we want it to be really fast. So what you can do is just pull things up an octave, you know, move stuff over. So we can pull that up, and then we can use the chord of this, pull that up, stuff like that. And then let's do something like this. Okay, now we got some. So pull this over, make some variation. Let's do something like that, and then let's add like a little bass note. We can just add this note. Okay, and I think that's good. And let's just copy this over all the way across. All right, so that's the melody, and let's move on to our next instrument. All right, so next up I have some strings. So pretty much from the piano point, you can use whatever sounds you like, any like dark textures or sounds of pads. I just chose a string, so that's what they sound like. Okay, so with this, easily we can just go on the root and use anything that stems from the root. So let's try like, so, you know, if we had this chord, right, we remove the middle, it'd become a fifth, right? And we could just copy this over and then use one of these notes here. Let's copy it over. And then we could pull this down just so it's different. Okay, simple as that. So now let's move on to our next one. Okay, so what I picked again was just some strings, just keeping it simple. Okay, you can really insert anything here that you like. So same thing, we're just gonna use the range of this from D sharp to A sharp and just use the notes in between pretty much. So just offset this. And maybe use some right here. And then let's just copy it over. And then we can add some here. Just do something like this. Okay, and that's pretty much the entire melody. But keep in mind, we will be doing some like effects and stuff later. So this isn't the end of this, right? This is just the actual putting it in and programming part, right? So let's go ahead and actually start on our drums or 808. All right, so this is the synth bass I'm using, and this is kind of where we will kind of merge styles together. Okay, and this is pretty easy, right? We just can start here, shrink this down. And that's pretty much the pattern you want right there. Place it like this. And then over here, you could just go down an octave or something like that. It's up to you. And I'm gonna do something like this just so the second half is a little different. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the bass. So let's go ahead and put our 808 in. All right, so start our 808. So pretty much same thing. We can just start on our root and just kind of keep this pattern going. And then at the end, we could do something like this, right? Now, since we have that A sharp, now you could keep it going like this if you want to, but me, I like my stuff to be a little bit melodic. So I'm gonna use this A sharp that we used earlier and over here, right? For a bass note, so it's somewhat melodic. Okay, I'm gonna pull this down an octave, and we just pull these up just so it's a little different, right? So I'm gonna play it a little bit. Okay, and then we can just copy this to the kick, and then Alt K, and then I'm gonna copy these and then pull this down a bit. Okay, so that is our low end, and now we can do the drums. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here are the like basic drums. So I just added these, like the snare and clap in, obviously. And I did want to add like a little sum on this side, so maybe like something like that, but turn the velocity down so it's not super loud. And then maybe we could do like one around here. Let's see. Let's move right. Something like that, all right? And then with this open hat, usually this would play where the 808 hits. So something like that, right? Something like that, and then we could just kind of copy it over all the way across. And then we could do this tube bell as well. Okay, and we're getting there. So now what I want to do is go over hi-hats and then the snare rolls, because that is something that people kind of struggle with too. All right, so let's go ahead and do our hi-hats. So I'm gonna just go to fill each 2 steps, and then just so we have something to work with, I usually delete 1/2 because I usually just copy it over. All right, and the grid that you want to be in is the 1/6 beat. Okay, so we'll just play it. All right, now what we want to do is just pick a spot. Now usually before or after the 808 hits, you can add like a little chop or something, and I usually turn this up just a bit. Right, and then you can add some hi-hats down here. It's kind of up to you. And I guess that'll be fine for now. And then let's do something like this. Let's just fill these in. All right, and then I usually just kind of let them trickle in like this. As you can see, just a little bit, nothing too crazy. Okay, and I'm just showing you this so you know what grids to use. So 1/6 beat and 1/3 step for these, right? Then let's pull these down. Okay, that sounds a lot better. Okay, so now let's pull these over, and we can just leave it like that, right? And you could work on this a lot. You know, you could take way more time if you want to, but I think that's good enough. That should be enough for you to go in and make your own stuff, right? So let's go ahead and move on to our snare rolls. All right, so let's go ahead and do like our rolls, snare rolls and stuff. So we go in here, and you can kind of use any one that you want, but usually the 1/3 beat and 1/6 beat are the ones that people use. And don't forget about the 1/3 steps as well. So for this one, for like these, you usually want to put these before or after your pillars. Pillars would be like your snare, clap, or kick, or 808. So like right before here is where you would place it, or somewhere in between here. Okay. So we can do like a longer one like this, and then let it like pull up. And let's do one at the end just to be quick. Something like that. Okay. Okay, I'm sure you heard that a lot in like this style. So let's do the snare roll. So with this, first I would just place a snare and then figure out where I want to put the like the roll, right? So okay, so I'm gonna put one right here. And usually you want to start this where the 808 hits. So right here. Okay, and there's plenty of patterns you can use, and I'm gonna use let's do the 1/3 step. And there's plenty of patterns you can use, right? Plenty of things you can do. You can kind of do your own style. I'm gonna just do like a little 3 pattern, like a 3-way pattern like this. I'm not even sure that's in the middle, but then I will take this one here, and then you can kind of mess with the velocities to kind of tweak it to how you like it. And I want to make sure this is sounding how I want it. Okay. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, now when we add our saturation, that will sound a lot better. So yeah, those are the rolls, and now we need to go and do the effects. So I'm gonna load up some effects and just show you some things you can do to kind of process it to make it sound as one. All right, so for effects, now besides mixing and panning and stuff like that, I just put everything into a bus, and this is to get the core sound. Basically I put it slightly in mono, just slightly in mono. And then I put an EQO or just any EQ just to boost the frequency I liked. And then after that, I put a soft clipper, and this is gonna add that saturation and make it like do that like low rumble. I'm gonna show you what I mean. I'll just mute these. Right, and that's gonna give you that core sound. And then real quick on the master, since it's on, I just added a frequency splitter, boost the highs a bit so it's clear. Soft clipper just to control it. Okay. Now for the melody, now this is something I do like if you don't want to add a lot of sounds, you go ahead and add the shaper box or any like manipulation plugin, and I added a halftime, and pretty much you can add it on certain frequencies. So I'll play it. So if you put it about halfway, you'll get 2 different melodies, and the lows will fill up kind of that empty space. Right, your melody won't be so in your face, right? So I'll just play everything all together. All right, and that's pretty much going to be it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you guys like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.